This is the 4.5 liter Thermos brand thermal cooker. It comes with this 4.5 liter pot with lid, and you put your water, your soup, your stew, whatever it is you're making in this pot. Bring it to a boil on your stove or your fuel efficient stove, and then once it's come to a boil, then you stick it inside the thermal cooker, shut the lid, lock it, and leave it in there till it cooks. This is a vacuum line thermal cooker, and vacuum is one of the best insulators there is. In order to cook something, it has to stay at or above 175 degrees, roughly, for however long. And this Thermos brand vacuum line thermal cooker will retain heat at over 175 degrees for about 5 hours indoors. It loses about 8 degrees over 6 hours if it's outside freezing. However, almost anything, including dry legumes that have been soaked overnight, only need 2.5 to 3.5 hours to cook. So this is way beyond. And it will keep food hot or keep cold things cold, like ice cream, for 17 hours. It's really an amazing thing. Then we also have the 6 liter Thermos brand thermal cooker, which comes with 3 pots. It comes with the 6 liter pot and also 2 stacking 3 liter pots. So you can be cooking 2 things at the same time. 2 different things if you want. Works exactly the same, and it's also vacuum lined, same company. In order for this to be at top efficiency, the pots have to be pretty full. If you only put 1 gallon in this instead of about 1.5 gallons, it wouldn't be as efficient. But these are wonderfully efficient. Then, our third model is the Sunpentown thermal cooker. It is not vacuum lined. It is some kind of foam, styrofoam lined. And it comes with this 5 liter pot, which also has inside a 2-quart pot, 2-quart saucepan. So that makes it also possible so that you can cook 2 things at the same time. Works exactly the same. This one isn't as good of quality as the Thermos brand vacuum line thermal cooker. This only retains heat at over 175 for about 3 hours. That's long enough to cook pretty much anything. If you were using this outside, it would be struggling to cook beans. However, if you retain the original carton and the original foam packing, then you can stick it in that. That is exactly what I do with this one. I've kept my original box, kept the original packing, and added the side styrofoam packing. And then when I'm doing something where it's cold and I need to really retain heat, then I put this in here, put in the original foam lining, shut it, and that helps it be even more efficient. This thermos, however, is so efficient that you pretty much don't need that, but I like that. Then our fourth model is this Wonder Box. And a Wonder Box is something that you can make yourself, or you can order it on this group buy where somebody's making it for you. And these bags are filled with styrofoam beads. Now, in order to have this be efficient enough, you have to have enough beads and small enough beads. This is filled with a mixture of 1/4 inch styrofoam beads and then these little dinky styrofoam beads that are even smaller than a BB, that fill in all the extra spaces between these beads. I think this would also be as efficient if you only use the tiny beads. If you only use the 1/4 inch beads and not also the tiny beads, this one is not really great. But if you use a mixture or the tiny beads, then this is actually slightly more efficient than the Thermos brand vacuum pack thermal cookers. Now this doesn't come with its own pot, but so let's take this one out and just show you. you bring your soup to a boil again in whatever pot you've got. Stick it in here, and then bury it in these 2 pillows. And like I said, this is slightly more efficient than the Thermos brand vacuum-lined thermal cookers, which is quite shocking. These 2 pillows together weigh, including the material and everything, weigh about 2.5 pounds. This bottom one has roughly about a pound of styrofoam beads, 3/4 to a pound, and this one has between 1/2 pound and 3/4 of a pound of beads. The top pillow is a little bit smaller.